Okay, to our next topic, the Group General Manager, NNPC, Mele Kyari, on Thursday said the federal government subsidizes Premier Motor Spirit with about 120 billion naira. That's a huge sum of money. That's $263.25 million monthly. He said while the actual cost of importation and handling charges amount to 24 naira per litre, the government has been selling at 162 naira per litre, therefore bearing the difference. Kyari spoke at the weekly ministerial meetings and briefing at the presidential villa Abuja. He said the NNPC could no longer afford to bear the cost, saying Nigerians would have to pay the actual cost sooner or later. He argued that market forces must be allowed to determine the pump price of petrol in the country. Now, the big question that has been on my mind, on this is Nigeria as a country. We're blessed with a lot of mineral resources and even human resources, and two of the biggest happen to be energy, which is the power, and oil, and gas, and that too seems to be like our biggest challenge to manage in this country. Why is that?
So it's often called the resource cost. That once you have something in abundance, the possibility to manage it is almost not there. But for Nigeria, I'll just go a bit beyond that to see to wonder why the government is always saying one thing and doing another, and will come out again. I remember this same government had said they have removed their hand from that. There is no more subsidy. Now they are coming to say, oh, we want to now, and then so that non-transparency in the NNPC is a big issue that we must address, and it boils down again to the corruption that we're talking about. And then not only that, also we also have to look at the fact that in this country is one that you said, like I said, it's blessed with a number of things. We should not be importing oil at this stage of our democracy and our country. We should not be. We should have as if there are no if the government cannot do it, let them open the sector up, make it easy for private individuals to be able to privatize. And it was even once touted that why don't you even allow all these refineries we call illegal refineries? Why don't you embolden them to get approvals? Can be a small scale refinery where they can, and then we'll be able to
help a lot.
Self-sufficient. As opposed to always ensuring that we import so that they can always make those money from the back end and all that, which is bleeding the nation consistently. So once we get to that level, we'll always be going this back and forth of this one. I remember that this same APC government were the ones that stood against this when PDP was in power, and now they are coming to say we can't do it, we can't do that. All these lies, I think, like some people have said, it's like this is one of this government is like the greatest. I don't use the word scam that we've seen.
Okay.
Well, Solomon.
And the refineries, we've been talking about the refineries for years now. Let's repair them, let's destroy them, and build another one. How will it cost for us to do that? And finally settle this oil subsidy issue?
Solomon, I am as confused as you are. Because if you look at the way we run our economy, it's very shameful. Now, the problem, part of the problem is that when politicians make promises, we politicians, because I'm one of them, when we make promises, we get away with those promises even if we don't fulfill them. And our people don't have that willpower to hold us to ransom, to fulfill our promises or kick us out of power, even before the terminal date of tenure. And this is what has been the main resting point for the politicians. Oh, they can say something as promises during campaign period, and they don't get to do anything, and they still come back again. You still vote for them and they come back. And I think our people need to have orientation on how to hold elected officers accountable. Because this is APC in 2015. One of their campaign propaganda that made people to say they want to feel this change they're talking about is on the issue of petrol. When President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC leaders, they were on a street walk protest to say that the price of fuel at that time at 87 naira was a fraud on the Nigerian people. and that they are coming to power in less than 1 year. We are going to be buying a liter for either 4 naira or 10 naira per liter. And people were so happy. It was in the pages of newspaper. And said, no, this is what we want. And we trust Buhari. Buhari has been there before. We know him. And they voted. This is 5 years. From 87 naira, we are now to buy fuel at 211 naira per liter. And the government is saying that they have brought progress, happiness, transformation to this country at 211 naira per liter. So what are we saying? We are saying that, look, the fraud that you accused PDP of in 2015, the fraud has grown into a very high proportion. That Nigerian people are now confused whether it is PDP that's actually the fraud or APC is the fraud.
Okay, let's go over to Ilupeju, where we have Barrister Elvis Asia. Incidentally, among us, it seems to be like the professional, the expert, I beg your pardon, when it comes to oil and gas and petroleum issues. So let's have your view on that. I don't even know what question to ask at this point. Just give us your take.
Well, Solomon, I think what I would say is that the first thing I need to say is that subsidy must be removed, whether we like it or not. Subsidy creates a lot of problems for the economy. It creates destruction in the marketplace. We are spending too much money to subsidize petrol. And if you also look at it, there are so many problems that subsidy creates. It encourages corruption. It has aided rent seeking in government. Today, they will tell you that we are currently using 60 million barrels of petrol per day. And a lot of experts have said that that's not possible. The only explanation for that is that a lot of the subsidized fuel that we're getting here for 162 or thereabout are being exported to countries like Benin Republic, where petrol today per liter is selling for about 378 naira, the equivalent of 378 naira, or places like Cameroon, where the average price of petrol globally today is about 400 per liter. What we need to do is this. I think the way government has been going about this issue of subsidy is a problem. My friend there said that, initially they said, this was a fraud. That's not the way to go about it. The reality of subsidy is real. And in addressing it, you have to redirect. You have to stop subsidizing consumption and then begin to subsidize, the productive sector of the economy. You have to pull out the funds that you are using for subsidy to subsidize production. Because right now, we are still importing fuel. And by subsidizing it, we are subsidizing industries in other countries and not in Nigeria. So the way to go is that first we must get the people to buy into subsidy removal. And let's not be emotional about this. Subsidy has been removed in so many other products. Kerosene, which the ordinary people, village people who they are using, there's no subsidy on that. There's no subsidy on diesel. Diesel is, a lot of the transportation vehicles for goods and services across the country, uses diesel-powered engines, and there's no subsidy on that. There's no subsidy on LPK. So at the end of the day, we are really subsidizing the rich and subsidizing the middle-class families. So we need to get people to buy in, and then we need to do something similar to what the government attempted in 2012. Which was to set up a panel or a committee to redistribute the wealth coming from subsidy. I remember it was the Christopher Collade subsidy redistribution committee or something like that. You need something like that, so that people can begin to get value outside of this subsidy that doesn't really benefit anybody, which just creates problems for everybody. Then you need to fix our refineries, because right now, in pricing fuel, one of the cost elements is really foreign exchange, because apart from the fact that we are struggling with importing fuel, we have been having issues with foreign exchange since we are no longer producing anything, and so it's costing us so much, and that also increases the price of fuel. So if you can domesticate a lot of this, within the country, then you will be able to get more value from it. That means that you should, fix the refineries or encourage private individuals to invest in refining. Right now, people are scared about investing in refining because of this issue of subsidy. So, you have to, fix the pricing regime in order to be able to encourage people to invest in refining. And the good thing about doing that is that we're going to reduce some of the cost elements in petrol. We're going to create more jobs for our people. We're going to grow the economy. The foreign exchange we are using and wasting now to subsidize, greedy business people will reduce. So we need to do that in order to be able to fix the problem.
We analyze on democracy and the rule of law on Galaxy Television. Next week, Sunday, is another day. Keep it there with us then. I'm Solomon Offen. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday.